on, everyone? It's Semp. Welcome back to the channel. As you all know, Black Widow has now released worldwide, and I was able to see it on opening night. So here's a first thoughts and review on some of the biggest aspects of the movie. This is only a clip of the podcast I do host with my friend Colin. The link is in the description for the full unedited version. Subscribe if you like Marvel, the MCU, comics, and everything in between. But other than that, let's get into the video. Let's go.
I want to just go first impressions straight off the bat, and my initial reaction is, God, it's great to be back in theaters. And there's not a better action movie that could have taken us there, and I think a lot of the scenes, it reminded me a lot of like a John Wick movie, right? Like when you watch it on cable television, it's just not the same as in theaters. Punches don't hit the same, bullets don't shoot the same, action scenes aren't the same, which is why it's great to be back.
Here's the thing, right? This should have came out like phase 2.
Yeah.
In a way. Like obviously the story now fits for what we've seen, but yeah, I mean, she really deserved like not an origin story per se, but like a movie, during that time to like propel her character into like Winter Soldier and beyond. So
yeah,
I liked it. I think it was good. It has a lot of good action. It's not great, but I really like it. Like it's really enjoyable.
It felt like it should have came out right after Civil War.
Yes, it should have came out in phase 3. That's a perfect way to put it. I said phase 2 just because I'm thinking of like origins almost in a way. But yeah, phase 3 fits.
Yeah.
I think it had really good action. The only thing I was kind of missing, and we'll get into this, there's no true, like, the Budapest thing between her and Barton.
Mm-hmm.
Her and Clint is, like, a main focal point, I think. And I really kind of wish we did get, like, a flashback of them. Like, a quick scene or something kind of showing that.
Yeah. We did get a little bit of a flashback, but we only saw Natasha, and we only saw, Dreykov's daughter get blown up. Regardless, we're gonna go through this scene by scene, and we're gonna start with, I think you wrote this note that the intro credit was fantastic.
I thought it was fantastic. Honestly, that really set the mood for the entire movie, and I was pissed because it was just like a bunch of like,
I can't even remember what it was.
It was showing directed by, executive producer, all the names, Florence, Scarlett, David Harbour.
Yeah.
But it was just like really well put together, and that's a rare thing in Marvel movies to get like an intro type of credits thing, right? That doesn't happen often.
Yeah, before we even get normally we get the cold open, normally we get right into the action or right into some sort of setup scene, and we didn't get that here.
We get introduced to a character, Mason, played by O.T. Fabinal.
That's the name.
Dude, Jesus, really, really underused. Like, why was he introduced as a major character at Comic-Con? I don't understand.
I don't know. Is he gonna come back? Is this? He wasn't even. Maybe I could be wrong, but I don't even recognize him as a comic book character.
No, he was just like a character. I just don't understand. Okay, let's just talk about it right now since we have more scenes to talk about. But let's do Taskmaster.
Okay.
What's your reviews on Taskmaster? What are your first thoughts? This is all spoilers, by the way, so spoiler warning. If you haven't seen the movie, click off now.
Oh, yeah.
But we're going to get right into it. Taskmaster, go.
Yeah, so we find out that Taskmaster is, in fact, a daughter of Dreykov, which technically all of these people from the Red Room are, but she's somebody who was previously blown up by Natasha in an attempt to kill her father, and now she's been seemingly put in some sort of Iron Man suit because, when you look at the daughter's face and just her head and neck, she does not look like she's 6'5". I'm sorry. You could try and make me believe that all day, but she's taller than David Harbour, who I know for a fact is at least 6'2". You know what I mean? Like, that's one thing for me that threw it off, is that even the reveal that it was a woman didn't make me upset, but just the stature. Maybe explain the suit a little bit more. It was kind of a nothing character, another person controlled by some higher up. I did like the fight scenes.
Oh yeah, I think the fight scenes are very good.
She's probably gonna come back.
See, I don't know. And look, a lot of people, like diehard Taskmaster fans, obviously were not a fan of how the character was portrayed in this movie.
Yeah, they're not gonna like it. Let's be real. They're not gonna like it at all.
No, the twist was fine. Like, I'm completely fine with it.
I don't care. The one thing people don't realize is that Marvel recently has been solving all their problems within the scope of that story. You know what I mean? Like WandaVision, Mephisto's not going to show up in episode 8. in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Power Broker was Sharon. We knew all along. Like, Marvel has decided that the enemy is gonna come from within, and part of me should have known that. I mean, we didn't get any inkling that it could be his daughter until maybe literally the reveal. I had no idea. Did you have any idea?
So yeah, unfortunately, I did know that the daughter was Taskmaster before seeing the movie.
No.
In general, though, while watching the movie, I was even like, this is not a woman under this suit, just because of the stature.
Yeah.
And it really did look like Mason. Like me, I thought Mason was actually going to be under the mask, and he wasn't. And I mean, that's fine. I really wish, like I said, like they put more into his character. I really don't understand why he was in the movie.
Well, there's no character development for Taskmaster.
No, there's not. She doesn't say a word.
Literally not, like, what, 2 words?
Yeah.
She says, or 3 words. Is he gone?
Let's be real though. The design of the suit, a lot of people criticized it in trailers. I think it was really cool in the movie.
No, dude, I like it. I mean, the what's it called aren't explained at all. I mean, are we supposed to believe that you put a chip in the back of her head and now she can mimic every move?
I don't think so. I think that was more the controlling part. I think the helmet is what really does like everything, right? It like
kind of like Jarvis when he fights Cap and he's like, all right, kick his ass. I analyze his fight patterns.
It's basically Stark Tech spinned in a different way, and on the bridge when she's analyzing Natasha, maybe that connects to the chip, so it's like muscle memory almost like instantly, which is obviously a spin.
There just wasn't a lot of explanation for it, and it was Natasha's story, so I'm not too upset with it. You know, if the Black Widow and her family, Russian family, part of it wasn't interesting, I'd be more upset at the lack of, interest in Taskmaster, but I'm okay with it.
Definitely not mad.
Here's
the thing too, right? Like, I think the way they spun it, you thought he was gonna be like a main villain. She.
Yeah.
It's just like, I don't know. I guess it didn't really do much. The action scenes were awesome. Like, they got really intense, but they were short. They were very quick. Actually, the bridge one wasn't.
Yeah.
I'm fine with it. Here's a question for you though. Do you think Taskmaster returns?
I mean, based on what you said, no. I mean, it would make sense that she ends up being a Thunderbolt or, a Dark Avenger, in my opinion. I don't think... Here's the only reason I don't think she's coming back. Do you know who played her? I mean, I don't want to sound ungrateful, but normally when Marvel casts someone they're going to bring back, they cast a notable actress.
Olga Kurylenko? Yeah, it was Kurylenko, right?
I don't know. I'm asking you. I didn't recognize her.
I didn't recognize her either from anything. I don't know if she's known or not. I just know the name, obviously, because I knew going in who Taskmaster was, which kind of sucks. Maybe that pulls it away from me a little bit, but I think Taskmaster does return. Now, here's the question: is it going to be her again, or is it going to be just the idea of Taskmaster returning?
Okay, I'll do you one better.
Why is Gamora?
Do we get a return, like a Crossbones type return, or are we gonna get something like a Baron Zemo return?
Zemo. Maybe they only use the suit, so it'll be interesting to see what they do. I think the character of Taskmaster does need to be not redeemed, but almost like hey, I mean, we're getting the Mandarin 8 years later. You know what I mean? Like, maybe we do get a real Tony Masters, or I don't care who's in it. I just want to see more Taskmaster fighting. Scarlett was the executive producer on this, or she was one of them.
Yeah.
You can tell that like a lot of her input was definitely in the movie, in a good way too. Like, a lot of what she said in interviews is how she finally felt like ownership of the character and kind of where to go. And that, yes, even though this maybe should have came out 5 years ago, that seeing her arc fully come through kind of helped her realize what needed to be filled in. And so in that terms, it did.
Yeah, kind of the emotional core of Endgame was her, and it makes a lot more sense now why she held on to that family, quote unquote, of the Avengers as much as she could.
Yeah.
Really hits home. I love this movie, man. I'm down to watch it again. I'm really considering spending $30 to watch it again, but I don't know.
Traditionally, in cinematography wise, it kind of felt different from an MCU movie. There's a lot of different angles and stuff, and I think
there was
Kate
the
Shortland
camera movements
plays a part in that. I think she's known for kind of doing. I'm not like a huge cinema buff dude, so like I don't know all these like directors and stuff, but from what I've heard, she's good, and I think it kind of showed. It was a little different how it was shot.
Yeah, there's definitely some cool scenes, like whip around cameras. Like there's one where Yelena on the knockoff helicarrier whips around the corner to knock that dude out and leg sweep him, and the camera followed her, and I just thought like, holy crap, that looked really
that was
cool.
Sick.
And then another one too on the bridge when Nat reaches down and she's fumbling with the vials, and she's pulling the vials out to kind of trick them, and leave the case behind. And you see Taskmaster in the background, and she jumps up in the air, and it kind of zooms out really quickly and then zooms back in directly in Taskmaster, and you watch her come down. Oh, it's great. I digress. It's just a good movie, man.
Really cool cinematography, like how everything was shot. Good camera movement. I liked it a lot. I will say it's like a 7. I think if I would have to rank it, obviously I have my. First of all, we did our ranking and I never edited it. We might have to shorten it, and plus there's a bunch of stuff coming out, so maybe we'll redo it or something like that.
Yeah.
But I would probably have to say this lands. So, for example, my number 10 movie, right, is the OG Avengers movie, the original.
Yep.
I would put it probably right around there, like top 10. I would say like right around top 10, which is good.
I mean, I have to watch it again.
Here's a question for you: is it better than Far From Home?
Shit, man. I mean,
I think so. Going back to Far From Home, I actually don't really like it as much as I thought I did.
I mean, I'd have to go back and watch it too, but what I would say is it lands somewhere in between. Like you said, the original Avengers for me. Honestly, it's just so hard to rank because you're right. It should have been the first movie in Phase 3. Regardless, it's a great movie. If you're listening to this and you listen through the whole thing, you clearly watched it. You probably liked it too. So
yeah, let us know what you think about this. Like I said in the beginning, the full unedited version of the podcast is in the description down below. Go click on the link. Follow me on Twitter @AnotherMarvelG. Drop a like on the video if you enjoyed it. Other than that, I just want to say thank you. I'm Another Marvel Guy, and I'll catch y'all on the blip.